And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes here to talk about my team limited. So, trying not to be frank here, but like my team limited sucks this weekend. Like, we had such cool limited modes this season. That's like the one thing I will give season 6 is some of the limited modes were awesome, like the no clamps player, stuff like that, really like original stuff. But then we're just back to using 90 overall lineup. Yeah, you can't use bronzes and silvers, but you could just use, I'm using these 5 cards that are all super OP and super highly ranked, and then I'm just putting a bunch of heat check cards on the bench. Now look, the realistic thing is you don't have to sub your 5 in limited. 4-minute quarters, stamina really doesn't mean anything in 2K. Just fill your bench with the lowest possible heat check cards available, and then use your 5 favorite or 5 best players up top. Even like if you look at the gold cards, like even the gold cards are a little, I don't want to say they're like too highly ranked, but they are kind of, and you're going to be at a massive disadvantage when it comes to guys using full heat check benches. But they're not too terrible. Like you can get away with using guys like Thad Young, Duncan Robinson, anyone with a low defense or low offensive rating should keep your lower overall in check. Try to fill it with as many heat check players as possible, though I would say that there's no reason to go buy some of these guys. Try to keep it, if you are going to use gold players, use Series 1 as opposed to Series 2 because their stats are just a little bit lower, so they'll keep your overall. But if you use a full bench, you might have to subtract one of these Dark Matters out of here for like an Opal or a Pink Diamond, but it's not really the end of the world. Throw a guy like Kyle Korver in there, it's not a big deal. All these lower overall heat check cards, like, you don't really need 67 Dakota Mathias in there to keep your overall low. So there's no reason to go buy them for 10k, realistically. But this is the squad I'm using. If you wanted to go with a free or even budget-ish version of this squad, or just a budget-ish version of cards that you could use that will work very, very well for you, let me throw some guys out here. Start with center. Let's go with Dirk or Jokic. You know, both of them were about 20k last week. Majority of the player base has them. Power forward, let's just go with a free guy. You can run Jaren Jackson Jr. Bam, obviously I would switch those two. At the small forward position, you could run, where is he? Yeah, Obi Toppin, free card, free from a locker code. Majority of the player base has that as well. Shooting guard, you can run JR, or you can run him at point guard. But let's just say for free versions, you could run like, if you have Zach LaVine or Bruce Bowen, somebody like that. And then a budget guy at the point guard position, you can just run Rondo. Like this card right here would have cost you 40k, or this team would have cost you 40k to run. And it's more than usable against some of the squads. But for these purposes, I'm just going to use the best cards that I have. And the reason for that is this is exactly what you're going to run into 90% of the time in limited this week. So let's go jump in a limited game. Yeah, we're playing a pretty solid team. What do we got? Doncic, Harden, Kuzma, Cunningham, and Clint Capella. Okay, so, I mean, here's a pretty perfect example. Like, there's no reason to be using, like, sapphires and stuff on the bench or, like, emeralds or anything of that nature, just because it raises your overall a little bit too much, and you might as well just plug it in with all golds. None of those guys really need to be coming in the game anyway. Interesting, doing full defensive lineup. So at least the guy I'm playing with, I can tell right off the bat, isn't bad at the game by any means. He's obviously trying at least semi-hard, or else he wouldn't be putting all of his defensive setups in. Right off the bat, I know I say this in a lot of limited videos, but it's the meta. Like running Hawks freelanced, you run some pass and screen away. I usually do tight on ball, deny ball, off ball as far as my settings go. You can go in and do hedges and things like that, but for the most part, like in limited, most people don't really care enough. There's no penalty for quitting, so running all of those settings is kind of just unnecessary. And I mean, the one thing about limited that I think a lot of people don't say in tip videos for whatever reason is like, don't be afraid to quit in limited. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, don't. If you're playing against, oops, my meter's off, forgot Ty was on the account. You know what? I'll play with no meter. That's fine. Playing with no meter does give you a boost in the amount of whites that you hit, and the green window is a little bit bigger. But, you know, if you're not used to it, like I'm a meter guy, like I prefer the meter, and that's all right. If you play with the meter too, shout out to you. Like I like the meter. It's just that visual representation is helpful to me. It's just kind of a mental thing. All right, there we go. It's going to leave Wilt open. Cash. Hey, Wilt Chamberlain's nice. you can get away with a lot of different centers, like somebody like Dirk Jokic or even like Jaren Jackson Jr. Like guys like that will do exactly what Wilt does, and the job will just be really similar. Good block. Wilt's better defensively, but offensively you're going to get the same production more than likely from those guys. Good shot from Penny Hardaway right there. Penny's a monster. I mean, honestly, you could even get away with using like some of the cards that came out today that are really cheap that you could use. Rui Hachimura is actually really good. Okay, that's fine. We just got a Luka Doncic dribble god. Magic Johnson is another card you're going to run into pretty frequently, just because he's incredibly good and he's relatively cheap. Oh, you're going to off-ball with Capella? That's fine. Oh, my controller died. That's unfortunate. Good board, Wilt. Let's get that over to McGrady here. Oh, he's got Billy Cunningham on him. That's a good move. That's fine. The other thing that I would say in limited is if you are running into a squad like this that at least has some sort of weakness. Like Capella is definitely a weakness on this squad. I'll let Capella score all day. I don't care. Like I'll let him score 2s all day. I just don't want him scoring 3s. All right, let's go, Wilt. Capella. Oh, you know what? Solid defense by this guy. I'm not exactly the best rim attacker anyway, but I'll give him credit. When people play on-ball defense against me, like I give him credit. Big dunks from Wilt. Clint Capella fouls. But yeah, I mean, Clint Capella is going to be the weak spot, so I'm going to attack him with Wilt at every given opportunity. Just because Wilt's a little bit too fast and a little bit too athletic and tall for Clint Capella to really handle. Even though Clint Capella is a good defender, it doesn't really matter. Do I see Varejao on the court right now? What is happening? Okay, get off me. Cunningham. Oh, that should have been Block City, Big Blake. What are you doing? All right, finally, he's going into his settings too. Limited is sweaty this weekend. Like I played like a bunch of games last weekend. This is my first game this weekend, and I can already tell you this was going to be a sweaty weekend because most players are going to get Rashard Lewis this weekend or go for the Hoff badge. Personally, I'm going for Rashard Lewis. I never really go for the Hoff badge just because I'm going to end up getting like drop stepper or flashy passer anyway 99% of the time. So it's like I'd rather just have Rashard Lewis for spotlight sim purposes. That's just me. Oh, we got one of these guys. They're going to be calling timeouts and stuff. We'll see. Maybe I get a full game out of this guy. We'll see. I'm not really sure. I have a better team, so it's not like I'm even that much better of a player or anything, but my team is better. So it is what it is. Having a well-constructed team is key. Just kind of knowing what you're going to get yourself into, like what you're going to run into, is going to be a big key. Wilt Diesel. Like, majority of the teams that you play against are going to be running guys like Penny Hardaway and Magic Johnson. Big point guards are going to be out here. Maybe you'll run into a Ben Simmons or two out here. So having a point guard that can play defense on this guys is key if you're looking for a budget option that can do that. Justice Winslow works really well. You can get him for under 10K, and I promise he is worth it. All right. Okay, Billy Cunningham is a monster. Dude, green lights. Let's go. Wilt is like the only card, weirdly enough, that I'm consistently green with no meter. I don't really understand what that's all about, but it is what it is. But limited, that's my thing. Don't be afraid to quit. If you're playing against a super sweat and you're just burnt out in the 3 minutes of the first quarter and you're just like, yeah, dude, even if I'm like have a potential to win this game, like it's just not worth playing against someone like this. Just quit. There's absolutely no penalty whatsoever, especially if somebody's doing this shit where it's like they're pausing every 5 minutes or whatever. Like, who cares, man? Just quit. Doesn't matter. Like, enjoy your time at least. I quit all the time. I don't even care. Like, I would rather sit there and quit and then rematch with somebody else rather than sit there and sweat it out for 20 minutes against a team I know I could probably beat. It's just not worth my time, like, at all. Especially if they're being really sweaty, you know, they're running like zones with switches and they're like playing hard off-ball defense and running press. Like, nah. I'll just quit and play against someone else. Like, or I'll just wait till Sunday whenever all the sweats are gone because they already got their limited wins. Wilt Chamberlain is such a monster, dude. I'm still debating swapping him out for Kareem. It's kind of like tough. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that or not, but you know, it might be worth it in the end. Get off me, dude. Come here, James Harden. Ooh, look, a screen. Is he coming? Is he? Yep. Okay. No. I got an on ball you on the stream. There we go. Get out of here. Big Blake. Oh, shot clock violation. Big Blake is too much for you. Look at that. So I'm having a good game here. I kind of have it locked down at this point. Like, unless this dude comes back on, like, a crazy run, like, I'm pretty sure I got this game. Ooh, Penny. Penny's too big. You can't stop Penny with James Harden. That's not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, use your best cards. But at the same time, in addition to that, like, you want to build a squad that can compete with those more OP dark matter squads that you're inevitably going to run into. Like, also, like I said, if you see a squad that has, like, 3 million MT worth of cards in their starting 5, and they go immediately into their settings and start pressing and everything like that, and you're just not going to have a fun time, just quit. Just quit. It doesn't matter. There's no record limited. No one cares. Just quit. Go match up with someone else. I'd rather... Oh. Ooh. Yeah, you know what? Base 98 on quick, man. Really sketch with the meter off for me. Oh, well. We got a good lead in the first quarter. I could have a better lead, but honestly, I really haven't played 5v5 in this game in, like, since last weekend. Like, during the week, I don't play 5v5s. Like, I'm not going to jump on Unlimited. It sounds like a miserable time. By the way, there are mystery Jordan packs that you get for winning games of... I don't know if it's limited. I don't think limited is involved, but there is one for Triple Threat Online, and I know Unlimited. You can get them as well, so it's kind of tough to really see. Come here, Luka. Headband Luka is tight, I will admit that. Get out of here. Oh, come on, Wilt. How are you going to foul that, dude? I guess that's what happens when Wilt defends guys who aren't 6'1" and white with belts on their jerseys. He's going to hack a little bit on somebody like James Harden. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're still on the floor. We only got a 4-point lead. Like, I'm not playing good at all right now, but get off McGrady. Hit it. Yup. All right. I'm not really too worried about it. My team is significantly better, which is going to happen. You're going to run into an annoying team like myself at some point who's not even really that tight at the game, but their team's just way better. That's going to happen. Oh, you got the meter on? I respect you for that. My whole team's got takeover right now. Ooh, I should have shot that. That was a mistake. Ooh, pull-ups. Oh, are you serious, Andre Karolinko? You're really going to miss a pull-up mid-range? Come on. If I had the meter on, I probably would have hit that, but it is what it is. Ooh, Billy Cunningham was cut, and you should have got that. Good switch onto Capella, but at the same time, Capella's at the 3-point line. He's not out here ranging. Yeah, I'll let you take that all day. I don't care. I'm not going to come in and get my guys into foul trouble. That's another key. Just make sure not to get your guys into foul trouble. Ooh, McGrady. Oh, Big Blake, don't be leaving him open. Splash. Blake Griffin is incredible, by the way. Like, I'm not abusing him too much this game. He does have Billy Cunningham on me, who's like a pretty good defender, so I'm not abusing Blake too much right now. But let me tell you, when I was playing TTO a little bit ago, I was abusing Big Blake hard. Or earlier this morning, right after I drew him. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Are you gonna let the whole clock wind down, or what's happening right now? Come on, don't quit. Big girls don't cry. I'm singing Fergie. Don't quit for me, please. Actually, you know what? Quit. I'll just play another game. I don't care. Yep. Woo! All right. GG's. What if I get my ring right here? I usually have pretty good luck of getting my ring when I'm recording, so I have a good shot of getting my ring, period, right now. I don't even know what the prizes are for this week in Limited. Personally, like, I don't ever think it's a wise decision to grind Limited for packs. If you know you can make people rage quit pretty consistently, then absolutely. And also B, why are you watching this tips video at this point? But that would be the best time to grind Limited for packs and stuff. But for the most part, I just think it takes too much time for too little of a reward. If you've already gotten your ring, I would say just cash out at that point. Let's see. Do we get my ring? I'm not entirely sure. I hope we do. I'm gonna count it down. Please give me my ring. That's a standard pack. I don't want that. That's one token. Wow, you gave me a standard league pack. 3 contracts are a token. What kind of prizes were those? All right, next game we got Kobe, Pink Diamond Kawhi, Pink Diamond Paul George, LeBron, Julius Randle. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. This team's fine. He's got Eddie Curry off the bench with Jeremy Grant as well. Kind of a weird strategy. I mean, you could if you have the heat check players necessary, having like a pretty good diamond for matchup purposes off the bench isn't a bad idea. Like, him having Eddie Curry is a smart call, just because he can get rid of Paul George, move LeBron to the small forward, Julius Randle over to the power, and throw Eddie Curry in to help against someone like Wilt Chamberlain. That's actually a pretty smart strat, and not a terrible idea depending on the cards that you have. Though I will say it'll hurt your overall, but this guy was able to make it work. It just depends what cards you're working with, especially if you're using someone like Dirk, who's not going to hurt your overall as much as like a 99-99 guy. It's not a bad idea. Like, same thing, I'm just running into Hawks freelance, getting the floor open. Like, if I need to, I'll run like pass and screen away plays and stuff like that. But for the most part, I just run like a pretty generic offense, pretty ISO heavy with a lot of passing. That's usually what I do. Not going to say I'm a world-class 2K player, because you guys watch my channel. You know I'm not. But I get my wins. How did Julius Randle win the jump ball? Oh my god, there's some Knicks fan watching this video just so pumped for no reason right now. Knicks fans are delusional about Julius Randle. He's playing really good this year, but like... What? Oh, you got super lucky there. Uh-oh. I talked messy about Julius Randle. The Knicks hives are coming. All right, good board by Wilt. Push the ball up. I like Wilt because I can do that. There we go. Over to Penny. Good move. I love Penny Hardaway this year. Like, this card is starting to get some respect now, but I still think this card is not getting the love it deserves. Like, this dude is a top-tier point guard in this game. Maybe I'm overreacting there. Big Blake pull-ups. Blake Griffin is nasty, dude. Like, Blake Griffin is nasty. He's a whole different type of power forward that we don't really have yet. Like, he's different than, like, Dirk. He's different than, like, Wes Unseld. He's different than your Giannis-type power forwards. Like, he's just a different type of player. We haven't really seen too many guys like him yet. Like, he's a big, stocky guy, pure jump shooter, can dunk really hard. He just plays a lot different. He plays better towards, like, my style of basketball, I feel. Mainly because I'm not heavy on ISO. I'm not, like, a speed-boosting guy. Blake. Pull-ups. That's probably why I like him so much. He just fits my play style. So... I don't know. I'll have to play around with him a lot more and watch some other people play with him to really determine if he's a top tier. This guy loves LeBron James, dude. You have other cards. Oh, let's go, McGreedy. Ooh, Paul George. Playoff P with the foul. And do we get another rage quit? We do. So like I said, just make sure you got a tall team that can defend some of these OP Dark Matter teams. Sorry there's not as many tips this week. It's just... the limited run that we have isn't really a creative limited runs. Just use your 5 best players and an entire bench of the lowest guys you can put out there. So I try to do as much as possible here. But as always, it's been your boy Cheap Ludes. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Subscribe to the second channel if you want. And I'll be back with more content later today and tomorrow. So you guys have a good weekend. You'll hear from me.